Now that we've got our JL sitting on top of a 2.5-inch lift and are running 37-inch tires, the real question we need to answer is, what do we do about the spare? As you can see here, this is a Rubicon and it comes with a 33-inch tire for a spare. And while we might be able to get a 35-inch tire to mount up onto the tire carrier, you can see here that we've only got about 3/4 of an inch to work with before the tire makes contact with the bumper. Of course, we're running a 37, that means we have 4 inches of tire to work with, 2 inches on either side. So we're gonna have to figure out a way to relocate the tire carrier and make this thing work. Fortunately, our good friends over at LOD sent us a set of prototype riser brackets that we're going to install, and hopefully that'll take care of the issue for us. So to begin, we're going to go ahead and remove the spare, and we're going to use the handy tool that Jeep provided. Take out the Torx 40 bit that comes with it to unlock the backup camera. Take that off. Of course, the spare has a lock on it, so we're going to use the key that they provide. Okay, so we're going to use a 13mm socket. At least crack these loose. Just to speed it up, you can use an electric ratchet. Start with the lower bolts. Okay, we're gonna have to figure out what's going on with all this wiring here to see what we can and can't do. In the process of taking off this rear tire carrier, we realized that the third brake light has wiring that comes up and behind this plastic housing. So we're going to remove that just to see if we can't disconnect it. So. So now that's disconnected. Take this part off. Using the factory bolts. Take a couple more factory bolts. Cinch them in a little bit. Put the bottom bolts in now. So we'll just put on some temporary bolts here just to hold it in place. So it took a little bit of effort to figure out how to remove the factory tire carrier, especially when it came in regards to the third brake light. We were finally able to get it off, get the LOD riser brackets installed, and so we went ahead and installed our 37-inch tire just to get an idea of what else needs to be done. So if you look here off to the side, you can see that we have maybe almost a 2-inch gap between the rubber isolator and the sidewall of the spare. This is going to be a problem. If this isn't pushing firmly up against the sidewall, the whole spare tire will jiggle and it could cause some damage to the tailgate. So what we're going to do now is we're going to try to use some hockey pucks to see if we can extend the distance of this rubber isolator and make it so that it makes full contact with the spare. Okay, so we'll take a look right here. These are the rubber isolators on the tailgate, and we'll just pull it out. There we go. These are a lot shorter than what we had on the JK, and I might even try to see if I can't reuse some old JK ones that we have because they're a little bit longer. So this is an old JK rubber isolator that I pulled off of Moby, and as you can see, it was maybe a good ½ inch, maybe even an inch taller. This is kind of squashed down quite a bit, so it's a little misshapen. But we might go ahead and try to use some of these old ones that we have to give it a little bit more height. And then we're also going to use some hockey pucks, and I think we're going to need at least a couple to stack them up to give us enough distance to push into the sidewall. So you can see here for the JKs, I've been drilling holes into the center of a hockey puck, then use a spade, a 1-inch spade to clear it out. And that would allow me to pop in a well nut like this into the tailgate and then secure everything down. So I went ahead and picked up a couple 4-inch bolts because they don't make machine screws this long, and that ought to do it. Plus this should work out. Take our hockey puck and just to help from spinning around. So first off, we're going to go ahead and center punch this hockey puck. And it's about 3 inches in diameter. It doesn't have to be perfect, but getting somewhat center is a good idea. Take a 5/16 drill bit just to verify to clear it. Got this clamped in and then drill away. Okay. Offset this just a bit. We're going to take a 1-inch spade so that we can drill deep enough to clear this well nut right here. So that'll clear it. You can see it's countersunk enough to clear the well nut. Now we have 2 of those, but because we're going to stack these up, I'm going to go ahead and drill one more. Okay, so here's another JK rubber isolator that we have that came off Moby a while ago, and you can see the height difference is significant. The difference is 1 inch, about 1 inch difference between the JK and the JL. These are considerably longer, so they're definitely going to do the trick for us better, at least in terms of this particular setup. So what we're going to do is first we're going to take this rubber nipple that got pushed into the tailgate We're just going to cut it off with a utility knife. You can see it reveals a hole right there. Then what we're going to do, just to help things out, maybe you can see it or not, there's a hole down there now. So what we're going to do is take this rubber nipple, so we're going to take a washer, we're going to take our bolt, we're going to slide this onto the nipple we just cut off, and then we're going to take the whole thing and place it in here. Then we're going to slip it through one of the hockey pucks, the other one with the countersink. We're going to take a well nut, and then we're going to install it. So now that we're here, take our well nut, we're going to insert it into the tailgate. We're going to take our fully assembled bump stop extensions, place it in, and then install it. So you don't want to go crazy tight on this bolt, because the whole idea of a well nut is, as your bolt goes inside, it pulls on this brass insert and it collapses the rubber shaft right here, pushing it up against this collar right here. And that's what ultimately holds it in place. So it's a good enough fit. All we want it to do is be strong enough or hold it in place so that it doesn't fall, and we can put the spare on it. So we'll go ahead and do the other side now too. Push in the well nut, take our fully assembled bump stop, and then install it. Again, just enough to hold it in place. Maybe just a little bit more. Okay. All right, we just put on the spare, and as you can see, there's definitely resistance. It's definitely going to push on, and you can see the whole spare tire is angled away. Looks like our fix is going to do the trick. There's definitely going to be full contact with the isolator, and we should be good to go. So now I'm going to go ahead and install our lug nuts to hold it in place and suck everything in. So you can see here now that the tire is completely level or flush, parallel to the tailgate. The rubber isolators are definitely pushing firmly up against the sidewall. Let's take a look at this side as well. Oh yeah, you can see it's squashing down, doing its job. Okay, so we decided to see if we can reincorporate the third brake light. It obviously needed to be a little bit higher in order to clear the 37-inch spare. So what I did is actually just raise the whole thing up and just used one bolt as opposed to the two on each side. You can see the distance here is about 1 inch, and it might just be enough to give us what we need. So we're going to go ahead and put on the 37-inch tire again and see if it worked. And there you have it. So you can see, well, kind of, the third brake light does clear the spare and can still be used positioned up. While it isn't a perfect solution, it is one that got us to install our 371350 on the tailgate of our JL. It did take the help of an LOD riser bracket to make it possible, but as you can see, it was able to clear the rear bumper We were able to get our third brake light reinstalled, and we're able to isolate the sidewalls by extending the rubber isolators using some hockey pucks. So all in all, I think it's going to get the job done for us. We hope you found this information to be useful, and if you're not already a member, we would love for you to come by jlwrangler.com and become a part of our online community. Until next time, we'll see you again here on the JL Journal.